that feeling. I need Salma Hayek healing. We are looking at Ajax from the Eternals today, and another toy review from me. Hi, my name is Chris. This is not normally how we do toy reviews, we do them a lot more casually, but I'm trying to change up the look of it. Let me know if you like the new version of the toy reviews down in the comments below. We are continuing with the Eternals figures that I picked up for sale at Forbidden Planet. This time, Ajax, leader of the Eternals, created by Jack Kirby, portrayed, female incarnation, portrayed by Salma Hayek in the 2021 Marvel Cinematic Universe film. This figure is a separate release from the rest of the Build-A-Figure Gilgamesh wave, kind of like with the Angelina Jolie's Thena. In fact, as you can see at the back of the packaging, no other collectible figures on the back. Just all Ajax, baby! All Salma, all day long. Yes, please. The spiritual leader of the Eternals, Ajax can heal others and is able to communicate with the Celestials. Leader of the Eternals, played brilliantly by Salma in the film. Not in it enough for my liking, but if you've watched the film, kind of makes sense why. No spoilers here, because I think if you've not watched Eternals, go and do it. I really like it, and I want to know if there are more people out there who do. It's like, if here's like the best of the MCU, and here's the really cool stuff, and here's the like, it's alright sort of stuff, I think Eternals is like here, you know? Visually, it's one of the best ones, but anyway. Ajax, let's get her out of the box, and let's take a look. No, it's not a Santanico Pandemonium figure, as much as I'd like it to be, with snake accessory and Jack Daniels. The point is, it's Salma Hayek as Ajax in Marvel's Eternals. This figure is pretty great. Bit more decorative, bit more of an ornamental one. That's what I thought when I saw it in box, because of course she has very elaborately sculpted robes around her legs, complete with a stuck-on sculpted cape coming out of her back as well. But there's a surprising amount of movement available to this figure based on, again, the choice of material for the robes and everything, and the placement of the separation in the skirt and the robes, much like with Cersei and Thena before her. Let's take a look at that articulation, shall we? Feet pivot, as one would expect, on her wedged heel. She has a double knee joint with the new Marvel Hasbro patented pegless articulation. She spins at the top of the thigh, moves backwards and forwards and outwards, the top of her legs where her legs meet her crotch, not hampered too much by the robe. I find that really, really handy. No waist swivel, but she does have crunch at the ribs, which has a decent amount of movement actually. Her arms go backwards and forwards, round and out a little bit. She also has just a singular bend at the elbow, because this was before they started introducing the double elbow bend for the female characters. And her hands flex at the wrist, backwards and forwards, and the hands swivel round. She has one of those necks that is a ball joint on a peg with a ball joint at the top. So when you're swapping heads for Ajax, be careful, because if you pull with any force whatsoever, which you would do to try and get the head off, you'll separate the neck peg from the neck, as opposed to the head from the head. Neck's a funny word, isn't it? The colouring on Ajax's costume is very nice. The blues and golds wash out wonderfully in opposition. Making for a very, I don't know what I'm talking about. They make for a very striking look, is what I'm saying. However, the detail on Ajax compared to the likes of Cersei and Thena seems a lot more minimal, which is fine. I think a lot of them share the same leg sculpt with different paint, or at least parts of the same leg. No, actually I'm mistaken. The leg sculpt's completely different. Wow, that's interesting. But yeah, it almost feels like she's got less going on costume-wise compared to the others. Then again, that might just be because she did in the film. Except, of course, for the signature swirls, the language of the Celestials on the neckline of her costume. That's a lot of detail. That looks very, very pretty. And speaking of looking very, very pretty, Salma Hayek's likeness. The likeness of Salma Hayek has been captured beautifully with two heads. One in Ajax's signature helmet, with a bit more of a stern expression going on. If you want to have her balled up fists looking out towards the horizon. Maybe if you've got the Eternals in a lineup, this is the head you'd go with, because of course she's the leader of the Eternals. It gives her a bit more of a crown-like silhouette. And then we have the smiling portrait, which is just a gorgeous likeness of Salma Hayek. And I love the fact it gives you the option of multiple expressions with the alternate heads. Sometimes when you have a secondary head, it doesn't give you a different expression, just a different hat or something. So the fact that we've got two different Ajax is very, very nice. So it does beg the question, could they not have made the crown slightly bigger and removable so you could just place it on either head? nitpick, really. Another nitpick is there is a seam where the plastic meets up the middle of the front of her neck, giving her, unfortunately, a very artificial look there. She looks like a toy there in a way that is very obvious. That's a shame. Her other accessories are a pair of balled up fists so she can beat the pith out of you. Just a nice little touch. Balled up fists for 2 hands and splayed hands for her other pair of hands, of course giving you a nice option there. Ajax is a pretty solid figure. I'm not going to lie, it's going to be very cool to have her on the shelf next to Circe and Athena, the 2 Eternals I currently also own by this point. And as a huge fan of Salma Hayek, not just in a schoolboy crush kind of way, it's really cool to have a Salma Hayek action figure. So I'm very, very happy with this. But what do you think of the Ajax figure? Do you like her? Are you thinking, wait a minute, that doesn't come with a piece of Gilgamesh? Why are you collecting the Build-A-Figure? Well, you can help me with that if you want. Go to the description, click on my Amazon wishlist. The rest of the Eternals at the moment of this filming are on there right now. If you want to buy one for me, pick it up, help me build Gilgamesh. I'll give you a shout out in the videos. But you don't have to do that at all. You're under no obligation to do so. You can support me in other ways. If you want to do it monetarily, there's a PayPal link there. Or you could do it for free by thumbsing up the video, leaving a comment, letting other toy collectors know about this if you found it remotely useful. Do you think you'd pick up the Ajax figure? Are you happy that I've got the Ajax figure? Are you happy in general? I hope you are. Let me know down in the comments below and I'll see you again soon for another toy review, this time of the Deviant Crow. See you soon.